Hello everyone, this is VJose32 back again. It's time for a little what's on deck. And I'll try to keep this fast. I'm not doing this on my webcam because I keep having problems with uploading from my webcam to YouTube. So I'm doing it this way today. Let's take a look at what's going on with Kickstarter. New this week on Kickstarter, a lot of Halloween themed decks apparently. One of them, the only one that's probably going to be successful, is the Bicycle League of Monsters. I know the artist that designed this deck has backed a lot of other projects. Even though he's not quite familiar with creating cards and running a Kickstarter himself, he has been pretty active on Kickstarter. The cards, and the back design could be improved a little bit. It's just black and red. Features a Frankenstein type monster on it. Two-way design. But it just seems like it could be detailed a little bit better. But it's not bad. All the code cards feature Halloween monsters. And it looks kind of interesting. Then there's the Bicycle Steampunk Pirates. I might have mentioned this one before. It's not exactly Halloween themed one. It's a sequel to the Steampunk Cthulhu deck from that Iwata. I think I mentioned it last week. It's completely funded. You still have an opportunity to pick one up. There's even a couple of limited edition ones in special boxes. One's already all gone. One's still to come. Another new deck is the Celtic playing cards. By the way, this is the Total Eclipse from Kickstarter, in case you're wondering. The Celtic playing cards is for two different decks of cards, a red one and a blue one. Celtic themed, which is, Iris. Unfortunately, they've only got art for a couple of cards, or one or two cards. They don't have a back design. They don't have a box. They don't have a whole lot of nothing. But they do have support. And the whole platform is back the project based on this idea, and they're looking only for $6,000, and this is for two USB-C decks. Apparently the $6,000 is just for the production. The rest they're going to foot the bill themselves, so could be a little bit of a, could be one of those that you might want to avoid. I don't know if I could trust them, but they seem pretty legit and whatnot. Another new one sort of is the Wanted Dead or Alive Bicycle deck. It comes in two colors. They had previously launched a couple weeks back. Then they canceled the project because they realized after I messaged them and other people messaged them that they don't have enough money to print two decks through the USB-C. So they went back to the drawing board and relaunched it now with a goal of $20,000, which, or $22,000, something like that, which is more than enough to print two decks. However, I don't know if they're going to be successful. It is a very nice looking deck of cards. I definitely recommend checking it out. It is in some ways similar to the Federal 52 decks, except that it's not really to money, but it is kind of an old feel to it and very nicely detailed. Another deck of cards, it's Halloween themed, is the Blacklight Monster deck, which requires the use of a black light to see some of the details, I guess. This one looks like crap, and so far it's got very little funding. I highly doubt it's going to be successful. Not USB-C. The back design features what looks like Hulk Hogan's skull on it. I say that because the hair and baldness looks like Hulk Hogan's head. And it's got spiderwebs on the back design as well. Faces, a lot of one-way monster code cards for the code cards, and I mean the faces, they got skulls on the clubs, they got scratch marks on the spades, bricks on the diamonds, don't ask me why, and actual hearts for the hearts. That's not a bad idea, but some of those aren't bad ideas, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be very successful. Another one that's Halloween themed is the paranormal cards. Unfortunately, the Kickstarter seems to be focusing a lot on music and art and other stuff, and not really on the playing cards. I think they've added some playing card only pledge tiers, but I'm not sure if there's a whole lot. I think it's a USB-C deck, but they're looking for a lot of money, and I just don't think they're going to get that support. The cards themselves feature different art on each one. The indexes and pips that are on there kind of remind me of that Day of the Dead deck. It's not very good for poker or magic or anything like that, or cardistry. And the back design's kind of ugly, I guess. Anyways, another deck to tell you about is the Bicycle Demographic, which is all based on demographics. Each code card represents a different type of culture or demographic. And crap, I don't remember a whole lot about it, but it's not bad looking. Definitely, have a look at it. Another one that I might have mentioned is the Cartomancer, which is based on a game by the same name. Unfortunately, again, very little art. They have, I think, art from 2 code cards on there, and that's it. No back design, no box, no nothing. I can't even call if they're USB-C or not. What I can tell you is from what I've seen, it looks pretty bad. And I don't think they're going to get funded. And another one, well, a couple of us to mention, that winter deck that I mentioned last week has been cancelled because funding was really slow. Not a really good idea in my opinion. They could have left it, let more people find out about it, possibly pledge and spread the word, and even if it failed, next time they'd have at least some support, some backers to fall back on. This way they really don't. And they do plan on relaunching, probably in the winter, ironically. But I don't know if it's going to be successful or not. Hopefully, but I think one of the biggest problems right now with Kickstarter is just way too many decks of cards at any given time, that some of them just slip through the cracks. People can't afford to back every one, and then there's a lot of crap ones. There's some that are good, and then money gets divided, and then you got projects that release multiple decks with different boxes and all sorts of other stuff, and people pledge all sorts of money for them, and then they go, well, I don't have any money for this other deck. Well, kind of divide up your resources, help all the decks that you can if you're into playing cards. Don't just spend a whole bunch of money buying a whole bunch of decks of one kind, and then you can't support the others. Anyway, moving along. Another new deck that was cancelled is the Derp deck. Bicycle Derp deck, which is based on minis. A very bad idea. It failed. It was a failure and it was cancelled. People are saying it was from Alien Inc., but I don't know. There was no proof or anything saying any kind of connection to it, any kind of proof that it was connected. But then again, you never know. As for projects that are ending, the Black Book of Playing Cards, which is one of those that has 3 different box designs for the same deck. 69 hours, and it is very successful. The Bicycle Tinker deck has 5 days left. They're still trying to, it's funded, but they still want to increase their funding a lot so they can get a second deck printed. Not sure if it's going to happen. And they got all sorts of cool dice and metallic dice and steampunk themed poker chips. I think they're metallic. Yeah, metallic chips, and it's pretty awesome. Steampunk themed deck. If you believe playing cards from System 6 Magic, 7 days. Funded again. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do. But Diamond Cut playing cards also have 7 days left. These ones had failed before a couple times. Now it's not a USB-C deck. It is funded. They're trying to raise a few more $1,000 so they can print a white version. It may or may not happen. We'll see. Probably not, based on the current funding. Then there's that deck I mentioned before, the Culture Cards Ho Chi Minh Edition. 2 hours left. It is not going to make it. not even close. The Apollo playing cards, which is a reprint of a really vintage deck. 4 days left. Again, not going to make it, but they do plan on relaunching eventually. The Day of the Dead playing cards, based on Dia de los Muertos, from a Mexican holiday. 7 days left. Also not going to make it. I think it. I reviewed that one the other day. A lot of people not fond of the artwork. It's all based on those sugar skulls. A lot of people wearing makeup, and not USB-C or anything like that. So a lot of people not fans of it. And that's that. Decks that were funded recently. The Melee playing card actually was funded. The Blue Blood Redux was successfully funded, and the Iron Kings deck was also funded somehow. I don't know how. I didn't back that one. Coming soon to Kickstarter. Still no idea when the Metropole Nox deck is going to launch. The Bicycle Meridian from TPX Designs, same guy as the Bicycle Allure and the Bicycle Genesis. That's coming, I believe, tomorrow to Kickstarter. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong, but it's tomorrow or today or something like that. I don't remember. Actually, I think it's today. Or no, tomorrow, the 30th. I believe it's tomorrow. And that one looks pretty cool. Although I've seen some comments on the forums saying, well, we can't back this deck because we spent too much money elsewhere and it's okay, but it's not great and blah blah. I think you should definitely check it out. It looks amazing. And another one coming soon is the Bicycle Photographies, which basically has photographs on every card, I believe. Maybe it's just the court cards, but I think it's every card. And the back design looks pretty nice, somewhat similar to a rider back. The faces I have yet to see a whole lot of. And it's launching any day now. They're just waiting for approval. On top of that, in case you missed it out, there is a new floral deck out, the purple floral deck from Aloy's Studio. They're a little bit sketchy, Aloy's Studio. They've got people still waiting for prizes apparently. I know I had some packages that, at least one package that I know I never arrived, and my previous contest win, my contest prize I won for them took forever to get as well, and their shipping takes forever as well. And if for some reason they're only selling 432 decks or something like that, and they've only got a couple of dozen left. If you missed out, go check it out. There's some green ones coming too, no idea when, although they are having a contest on their Facebook to win green decks, the green florals. Also, the Utopia from cardexperiment.com is coming for pre-order, I believe, on October 8th. Carnival Delirium is coming in November. There's another deck that I saw on the forum, the Bicycle Rilakkuma. Anyone I know what Rilakkuma is, familiar with it, please let me know where I can find these, because I'm guessing it's a Japanese deck, kind of like the Bicycle Babe and the Bear Brick, but no idea. Also, Figure 11 having a sale. You can get 5 uncut seats for $50. Pretty good deal. It's like $10 each. It is. So it's a pretty good deal. So check it out. And nothing from Illusionist or Dan and Dave, unsurprisingly, or Blue Crown or House of Playing Cards. Although I have discovered that apparently when you re-sign up for renew your membership at the Black Club on Illusionist, apparently it's going to cost less money and you get a welcome package once again. Like you really need 2 boxes of, well, 2 of those boxes and more bracelets, unless it's different stuff, I don't know. But whatever. That's what I've got, so if it's a little bit long, stay tuned for some reviews. Maybe this one. See ya.